Okay, so for our third project here, we are going to play with Scatterplot. We're also going to be using filters, be filtering per year, month, the grade, and these are the names of the restaurants, the streets. Again, DBA means doing business as, the grade, and whether they are in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and so forth. I have this filter here though that we're going to be doing, so you can select instead of doing drop down like these ones here, you can actually select just one at a time, just like that one. So here are all the A's. I like this one. I like this little filter here. It looks nice, it looks clean. You can select all of them again and it just show up here. So for this case too, we wanted just Manhattan, then we would select just Manhattan. By selecting all and deselecting one, it seems you can do that as well if you wanted to. So there you go. Let's see here. Looks like it took out all of Queens. Let's try doing that. See what happens. There you go. See, I select Manhattan. It's not as one of the highlighted ones, so it took it out there. Okay, now this one here, this is Scatterplot. The thing that makes this one so interesting with Power BI is that you can actually see these grades move. In this case, I did it per month. So you can see these grades as they're moving. In this case, this is considering all the years. I didn't fill out the years or anything like that. So from 2014 through 2019, you can see all of these grades here. And if you push play, you see for grade A, it seems to be moving relatively in this section here. If you wanted to, you can also do that, and it shows you its movement. Show the movement of these things here as you hit play. You can use this for other things. In this case here, I used it for just the count of the grade. Again, it's moving. You can see A moving back and forth here. And this is just showing you the months as they're going by, month 6, month 7, month 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And it stops, of course, at 12. So this is what we're going to be working on here. By clicking on it, you can actually get rid of that line. So this one is the other one. This is where you can just look up here. For grade B up here, shows you there. By clicking on this one here, shows you the movement. Grade C, of course, everything else gets filtered out here as well. So we're working on this here. Here is a clean dashboard. So we're going to start off with filters. This one here, the slicers. So this one here, we're going to use it for the year. Down here, we use the drop down, and we're going to make sure that we can select all. Selection control, select all, one of the options. You can select more than 1 year by using the control button. So if you wanted to just select 2014 and 2016, 2014 with the control button, 2016 and 2019, it'll filter it out by those specific years. Let's select them all again. We're going to do another slicer. This time it's going to be for the months. Let's see here. Just trying to line it up. There you go. Ooh, let's take this just a little smaller here to give me some space. Right about there. This one is month. So let us look for a month. There you go. I'm actually not going to use this month. I'm going to use this other one I created earlier. That way I can have description, drop down, change the format here. to allow us to select all. If I wanted to, and so this one came about. This one I created this other table. I created this table here so I can. So the data that it originally imported had for months. It had it in month, day, year. So what I did was I split up. I used the delimiter. I split it up. So now I had one column for months, one column for day, one column for years. And then I created another table that just references what month, for example, what one stood for, in this case, January. What 3 stood for was March. So I was able to create a little table here, which I'm now using here. So instead of the days, I can select descriptions here, January, 1, 2, or June. Now the next thing I did was I used to create this, as far as the grades here. So we have grade here. And instead of keeping it like this, I changed this. I kept it small. And I went to format, change general from vertical to horizontal, which gave me this here. And then I also added select all. And that's what I did to create this selection like this. There it is. Expand it if you want. Make it smaller. That way it looks like that. If you want to make it look like that. The next thing I added was a table. This table here has, let's see here, has a DBA, has street, it has a grade, and it also has the borough here. So we can see it being filtered out. Just make this just a little bit smaller here so I can add, so you can see more of the columns. There you go. Okay, so now the scatter plot. Let's see here, the scatter plot. There you go. This line right there. Just expand this out and start adding some of the data here. Let's see if I can see how that looks there. Stop right there. Okay. So for the details, I did the borough. For the legend, I did grade. For the x-axis, I did count of grade. There you go, count of grade. And then the size, so we can make these smaller or bigger, these guys here. We're gonna add size. It's gonna create a scalar bigger here. The count there. Now to watch it move, we're gonna use month here. Let's see here. There you go. And then we're gonna add this last slicer here. Oh, perfect. This last slicer to filter it. I did borrow there. And again, I went to format, general, horizontal. I added Selection control, select all, so that we can select all. And that's it. So now we can decide to include them all or take out whichever ones we don't want. Here you go. You can decide to just do a specific grade, or we can just decide to look at a specific tool in business as here. If you wanted to, we can go down to Dollar Pizza and look at, or we could just look at a specific year to see how the grades were moving from time to time. Here's that. Push play. See it moved. It's that line to give you reference. Give you a reference as how it's moving. And then you just select, just touch it again there. Click it again. It'll get rid of that line. If you wanted to, you could filter it out just for the month of January. And then play there. It'll also do just for the month of January. Let's see here. Interesting. There's that right there. But for the month of January, it's not going to move very much because it's just that 1 month. You have to give it more than just one. The month of January, where it's just going to stay put. That's why that I didn't want to move. But when I push play, it's just one. There is nowhere to move for it just to be January. I used month here for this year. You can actually use day if you wanted to kind of give you more of more of these days here to see how they move, how one thing moves, how one thing particularly moves from one day to the next. Except I didn't want to do that one because it's not giving me much to look at, in my personal opinion. Or you can just do years, or you can filter it out however you want to do it. I chose month just because it looks better for me. Again, this here lets you know here is 19th day. In this case, I just chose A, and these are all the A's here. All these restaurants that scored a grade A all during all these years, during the month of April, January, May, and September. Okay, now this was using Scatterplot. I'm going to rename this one Scatterplot. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.